Everyone always talks about winning. Nobody talks about failing 5 media businesses in a row over the last 10 years because that's just me. I've built 5 businesses that didn't work, not kind of failed, I mean, fully failed. Here are the 5 main lessons I learned from 5 failed media businesses in the last 10 years to save you a trip down failure lane, but with positive outcomes I learned and how I rose from the ashes to now use those lessons as leverage to position and propel me to what I'm actively building, growing, and scaling now in my personal and business brands. Lesson number 1, learn how to properly communicate your branding and marketing to potential clients. Also, get nice with selling. What I did, I would study and learn how people communicate in sales and tailor it to my style of talking to have it be natural with my tone, energy, and delivery. I studied the most profitable and most successful companies globally to see how they word their products and services, whether luxury cars like Rolls-Royce and Lamborghini, to modern technology giants like Apple and Meta. Get a sales job at a big company to learn how to sell, upsell, and build ongoing relationships with clients with your style of communication to deliver an incredible client experience, but always share how you want the client to have the best experience possible here with us at Company Name. And I will personally make sure you're well taken care of. This shows you genuinely care for the client as a person, and now they know they have someone they can and most likely will rely on to do business with. This creates transparency, genuine trust, and builds a relationship for long-term growth. Always follow through with your word. You said you'll be there for them when they need you, and when you have the first opening in your calendar or availability, you make them a priority. You're the expert, period. Even if you're just starting out and don't know the information, when the client asks you a question, acknowledge the question, actively listen, be intentional with the conversation and communication, and above all, just give respect. It's all about making the client feel good and knowing that they have someone who cares, listens, communicates, and has their best interests at heart with the results you're going to bring them after they've seen the proof it works. If you genuinely want something to work out because you care, then take accountability, make changes, implement and improve starting right away after a coaching opportunity, and adjust as needed to increase results and positive outcomes. I'm going to touch on branding for just one moment. Branding in a nutshell is your brand's core values and beliefs and how well you communicate your messaging consistently across platforms online and in person. With this in mind, it's important to have a signature style or key elements that will be recognizable for your brand. So when people see your content across social media online, they'll know it's you. This will become your norm and regular. For me, it's my Boston Red Sox hat, my glasses, Apple products, because they represent who I am at my core. And anyone who sees these will just think, "Oh, that's just Adam." Marketing is very simple and easy. In fact, it's one of my favorite topics in business. All marketing is how you take your product or service and creatively share it with your target audience to have them buy and maintain a great and healthy relationship for long-term growth, repeat business, brand advocacy, and loyalty. All you have to do to be successful is just be creative with how you see your product or service and just word it in a way that feels natural and right with you. Keep it brief. Less is more with wording your descriptions and titles and subtitles as well. Depending on your business, you can choose to sell to everyone or be selective. The only way to be truly selective is to showcase your results after you have a proven strategy that only you have and only you can produce. Give them the option to tap out and leave. People love options and choice, but your proof of results that you created with your model will hook and seal the deal. All right, time for lesson number 2. Create frameworks breaking down to the molecule how you perform your work and strategies that are original and unique in your own business and brand. Whether you write in a notebook, iPhone, iPad, MacBook, Note app, or all of the above like me, write every single step very detailed down of how you do your strategies and what the process is. It's better to write everything down and to simplify it later and reflect on the whole big picture than to leave out details and forget how to do something if you're educating a teammate or a client or really anyone you're sharing the need to know information with. This is your intellectual property. Basically, everything you've created, people may try to copy, but you're the original owner and creator of the strategy and process. This is where your value comes from because this is where you'll produce your results and showcase those results to your target audience, and it will sell itself, and the clients will come crawling to you for your results in their life and for their work to be successful. I'll be honest, years ago, I tried to copy strategies from the top dogs in the game, but I realized I wasn't being me. I was truly mimicking. I advise to learn marketing, branding, and sales and communicate it in your own messaging with your own wording, tone, and energy. Pour into what you're passionate with. This will present yourself as a very natural person and speaker and build trust with your audience, and you will stand out. Above all, be unique. Plain and simple. People tend to overcomplicate shit. I love to just be simple and be who I am and what I love and pursue my passions and share my experience, knowledge, advice, and journey with you. Perform at the level you can handle while getting 8 or more hours of sleep every night. Hustle and grind culture are bullshit. If you love your passion to make those decisions, to make genuine actions, pursue those decisions, and create the momentum to grow the idea and turn your dreams into a reality, if you care enough and you're committed to the game, you will make it happen. I promise you. All right, time for lesson number 3. Open up when you failed. Admit defeat, but don't let it define you. Rather, use it as leverage to inspire you to go another round because this could be the one that works now. Failure is the foundation that success is built on. You're going to go in many different directions. Fail a bunch more than you're going to have those small little wins along the way, but genuinely take the time. Don't put a time limit on it and just naturally figure out what you love and what you want to stay away from. But once you realize what your passions are and what you sincerely love in your life, obsess and focus all your time and energy outside of your day job to create the best brand possible for yourself and your target audience. And use the brand to make money. You owe it to yourself. You're competing against yourself to win in the end. For me, I'm doing this because I need to improve my life every day with what I'm passionate and what I love. And I admit I won't let anyone tell me what I love and what I'm passionate with. Just go where life takes you. And you'll circle back to a checkpoint where you're ready to take the action on your passions and vision and dreams. When you experience failures, which you will, they're inevitable, admit when you've hit a new lower rock bottom, but do not let it define you. Use it to think and believe within yourself. I do not want to stay here feeling the feelings of failure. Then decide, what would I want to be feeling instead? Focus on that dream that you always think of that pops up in your mind, and then just make the choice. Am I going to continue this failure and realize this isn't for me, or grow and see this through and take the next step towards what I've committed to achieving? Just take one step at a time and be humble to want to learn and understand the lesson in these moments. This builds character, humility, perseverance, reveals how disciplined you're becoming and how much you already are as a person. Use failure as inspiration to focus on the positives for what you want and need. I obsess on focusing on the positives. I'm practical with failures, but my mindset locks in on the positives of what I'm working towards, even when it's hard sometimes and the struggle is real during a tough situation. All right, time for lesson number 4. Before you open and launch a business, I want you to already have the result of your work to show as proof backed by metrics of how effective your process truly is. That creates genuine value that will sell itself when a client learns about your brand and what you offer. Show that your product or service works with genuine results and that you're not just all talk. The value this will create will lead to great opportunities for you to make more money than wasting money trying to figure out as you go along, and you will save money long term and make more money in the short term and long term. When a client discovers your brand, give them straight facts. Content that gives genuine value, aka inspiration, education, knowledge, and hope to give them a reason to be creative and pursue the passions they love and create the dreams into realities that they have. To become the person they see themselves as in the future, just meet them where they're at today. To find clients when you're just starting out, just like and comment on the social media platform of your choice. I'd start with 30 minutes to 1 hour of just straight engagement in the content that you find genuine interest in, that you can give your honest and positive comments to hype up the person on the other side of that phone, and talk business with them from the comments to going down in the DMs. Lastly, lesson number 5. Have faith, trust, and confidence that you're truly pursuing a path that will generate a stream of cash flow and or income. Make sure it's something you genuinely love and obsess over, or you'll just be chasing money, being a miserable old hag, and, quite frankly, grumpy. It's important and crucial to have faith in a bigger purpose for your life. Trust that everything will work out in your best interest. Confidence that you are that person in the future, just here where you are today, working daily to get there one day. Pursue and seek to make more money. Don't fall in love with money, that ruins lives. But fall in love with making money. There's a difference. Making money means working for the bread. Be disciplined to make money. It's important to make money and pay for expenses like homes, cars, food, bills, debts, and more. It's important to save money too. One of the biggest things I wish to share is to please learn banking, personal finances, and budgeting according to your specific lifestyle, not just another generic Google spreadsheet, template, and filling out the numbers. Write down your income, expenses, and savings with dates for everything every month. And write down next to the entry the date the money is either coming in or going out of the bank account or being charged to the debit and or credit card, and identify which card is paying which bill for organization. When you obsess and love the topics of what you're always dreaming of doing one day, that's all you'll be talking about, thinking about, feeling about, dreaming about, and making the choice and decision that you will begin taking actions to create this in your daily life. Little increments every day add up ginormously over time. I'd rather make money doing and talking and obsessing over the topics I'm passionate and love than working at a job I'm not fond of just to pay the bills and get by. I'd rather make money doing what I'm passionate and love daily, even if it takes me 10 years to live the best possible life and experience everything amazing life has to offer, than to just give up and settle down when you're meant for so much more, because that seems easier in the short term but leads to misery and regret. I personally refuse to live with regret and despise. I have time for what I love and I'm passionate with. Nothing else matters to me. Make money doing what you love, even if you're not making money at first in the beginning stages, to then make money when you show proof of the results that your processes and strategies work. And that only you're the only one who has the sauce to make it happen, versus chasing money to fill a void that you didn't pursue your passions and purpose and topics that you love, but you became a good or proficient quote unquote person at avoiding something deep and personal and use a job as your excuse to provide, when that's just a failure in your life. In episode 1 of Radio X, I shared the 5 powerful lessons I learned and their positive outcomes with great details and advice to set you up for success with your brand and the mindset to think and attract great things and results into your life starting right now. The biggest takeaway you should remember from episode 1, I will be brief. Be genuinely you. Pursue what you love and work towards, making money from what you're passionate with and love to do, with the proof of the results to show your way works best to your target audience. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode on Radio X. I'm looking forward to sharing a new episode with you every week. Until next Friday, this is Adam Publicover, signing off.